debates the emerging issues of the day, serving diverse populations across the state. Texans turn to Extension for solutions in horticulture, agriculture, 4-H and youth, and family and consumer sciences. Extension agents respond not only with answers, but also with resources and services that result in significant returns on investment to boost the economy. Join us Fridays at 1 o'clock for the AgriLife Extension Hour.
A Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show, with monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776 to take your first step into the radio world.
Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's radio station with talk, music, weather, and traffic for Montgomery County. Have a question, comment about one of our shows? Want to know how to reach a host? Just contact the station on irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
Hey guys, this is Connor.
This is Dick.
This is Chris.
And we're with the Ticket Stub podcast every Thursday live at noon on 104.5 and 106.1 FM in the Conroe area. Also, anytime at irlonestar.com. You go to irlonestar.com/TTS. You can find all of our social media.
And don't forget, we give away 2 tickets to the Grand Theater on every show.
If you like movies and you like complaining or celebrating anything that has to do with the silver screen, check out the Ticket Stub podcast and join us every Thursday at noon o'clock on Lone Star Community Radio.
You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZWLP Conroe and 106.1 KZCCLP Conroe, and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
Hello and welcome to the Ticket Stub, your favorite place for movie news and reviews. We broadcast every Thursday at noon on 104.5 and 106.1 from beautiful Conroe, Texas. You can also find us on all podcast feeds everywhere, Facebook Live, YouTube Live. We're in all the spots. The Ticket Stub has a sponsorship with the Grand Theater and Amstar Cinema for 2 tickets every show. You can visit irlonestar.com for information about the show and sponsorships, or you can drop us a line at 936-647-3776. Leave a voicemail. Let us know who you are and what show you're calling in for. Also, please don't forget to leave a 5-star review on iTunes. That'll help the show grow, help people see us, help people know that we're legit. My name's Connor. I'm one of the hosts of the show, joined in studio, as always, by my friend Dick. How you doing, sir?
Word.
Word to your mother. Word to your mother. We are Chrisless again. It's May, and he actually works in a movie theater. He's the GM of the Grand Theater, and this is a busy time for the theater boys.
Endgame came out last week, and then he's still doing those recliners and all that kind of crap.
That's right, the head crushers. He's still installing more head crushers.
Yeah.
And then Endgame, obviously a pretty big one. I haven't seen the weekend. Did you look at the opening weekend for Endgame?
300. I think the first 3 days, 358 million or something like that.
Oh my gosh, 300.
And then
is that a record?
Yeah, it beat the record, and then the 5-day was some ridiculous
thing.
Yeah.
Unreal. So, is there any chance it could do $2 billion? $1 billion is the new landmark.
I bet it will in the long run, and then it's and everything.
DVD sales and everything.
Yeah, definitely DVD. Oh, high DVD sales.
Yeah, VHS sales will be through the roof, probably. I would say.
But yeah, I could see it doing $2 billion overall, and then when they re-release it, in 5 years as a back-to-back thing, they're gonna make more money. So,
well, what's gonna be great is in 20 years, when in the $5 movie bin at Walmart, you can get all 9 Avengers movies for
No, they'll never do that. They'll be like, hey, it's $9K. You guys spend $150 for all the movies. It's always gonna be $150. Remember when Star Wars had 6 releases?
Yeah.
And it was always the same price point every single time they released a new one. I'm like, You think they would just be kind of like courteous enough to say, "Hey, $20," and then you would think when you own kind of like what Apple and the streaming folks did, where it's like, "Hey, we're gonna give everyone a free 4K upgrade if you own."
Yeah, let's go ahead and just merge this up.
Yeah, but then they kind of like, "Oh, we wasted money. We should have done that because everyone will buy Star Wars 10 times."
Yeah, screw the people, man.
So,
Screw the customer.
I don't see Marvel movies having the buyback power though.
You don't think so?
We've been kind of talking about this. I don't think there's a lot of substance to these movies,
No,
so I
there's
don't
not.
think it resonates where I'm going to be a huge Skywalker fan all the way from 9 years old to a dying man.
Well, the problem is they keep remaking them, so it doesn't have the attachment. You know, the thing about Star Wars that was so cool is that
was unique?
It was unique, and you watched it in the 70s. Well, then when you came in the 90s, it was still, there was only that one thing until they finally remade it, like in the, early 2000s, late
They
90s.
didn't remake it, they continued the
Or,
story.
excuse me, continue the
So.
story. But now they just reboot it. Like, there's been, like, in my lifetime, there's been, like, 6 Spider-Men, you know, like 6 different
Yeah,
people.
no one really cares.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, well, I'll just wait for the next one. I don't need to watch that one. Why do I
Especially
care?
for the Venom movie I watched that I'm reviewing today. No one's definitely going to care about that.
That one came and went. Well, you know, so I have, man, it's been a while since I've been to the theater. I still haven't seen Endgame. I got to figure out, you know, recently married, got to figure out married life and the movie theater. I haven't made those. Well, married life
what
with
you need to
kids
do
and the
is
movie
you
theater.
call the Grand Theater over there, who's a sponsor, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
And be like, hey, can y'all open up early?
Yeah, that's right. I need like a 7 a.m.
I need a 7
I
a.m.
need
This
a
is the dad time. We need a dad time.
Yeah,
for this.
I've already read the paper. Already had a couple cups of coffee.
Yeah.
I need a little 7:30 a.m. movie. But you know what I do want to watch is it'd be cool. I know you don't care about Game of Thrones, and I know I won't even dare.
I've been watching it.
I won't even dare to
My
talk
wife,
about it.
my wife really enjoys it.
But are you up to date?
yeah, I'm up to date.
The most recent episode, I was thinking that theater quality would be something special to watch. It was, you know, it was an hour and a half. It was an hour and 22 minutes long, and the battle scenes and all the, just with the dark to light contrast, I think the theater would have really helped.
What they need to do is get a color correctionist on that show and be like, hey man, you realize there's about 40 minutes of black in this movie.
I was actually just listening to a podcast talking about it, and they were saying that shout out to the Ringer in Binge Mode. They were saying that the cinematographer came out and basically said it actually isn't too dark because I filmed it and I know what I'm doing and I'm a professional.
Well, I mean,
Screw you.
I mean, there's certain
peasants,
things.
you swine.
Well, there's
you
certain,
don't know anything.
There's
you
certain
ignorant
things
swine.
where it's like, to me, that you can use blackness as an art direction, but in a movie like that,
Black is beautiful, man.
You're talking about an audience who doesn't care about that. They do not care about that.
No, they want to see stuff.
They are the people who've seen Endgame, so they don't care. They just
It is
want.
not the same audience.
Oh,
as Endgame.
totally
No,
is.
it is not.
Totally is.
No, it is not.
You gotta respect the secrets. Don't ruin it for anybody.
Yeah, man.
Like, really, who cares?
Stay off Reddit, bro. Stay
So,
off Reddit, man.
but I mean-
I didn't even watch the trailers because screw that. I'm not gonna get spoiled. I'm like 6 years into this thing.
They just want to see people die or live, and that show.
It's good. See, you like all this trash and you don't like Game of Thrones. That's what kills me, Dick. You know, you don't like the beauty of Game. Like, appreciate it. This is the best show maybe ever on television.
No.
Try to convince me. No, was it? Change my mind. That's what that
That's that
conservative
new
do,
thing.
right?
Is that new thing?
Hashtag change my mind, man.
Well, you know,
Game of Thrones is the best
speaking of
show on TV.
HBO, you know what movie I'm really looking forward to this month is Deadwood, the movie.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So,
So I've never watched
I'm really excited.
the show.
You should
Deadwood.
watch it. It's only 2 seasons.
That's what I was gonna say. After Game of
It's
Thrones,
really well lit.
Oh, it's
Yeah, there's not a lot of darkness.
like
to it.
LIT, like oh, it's lit.
No.
Come on, baby, it's lit. After Game of Thrones ends,
You should check it out. You should
I'm
definitely check it out.
definitely
No kids
going
though. No kids.
no kids allowed.
Yeah, because they say
Did I say
a
the?
lot of bad words a lot of times. And
Yeah.
it's almost to the point where like we get it. You're on HBO.
Okay, yeah, we know you can say whatever you want, but that's what I love about westerns. Like, did they really talk like that in the West?
Well, when you have one of the only characters who speaks very little English, just say curse words his entire role, you're like, all right, so is this one of those that's the only words we learned from our parents kind of thing? Because it's really weird. It's funny when he says it, but it's like, come on.
Does Deadwood take advantage of the HBO nudity rules?
Kind of, but it's not as bad as a Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Game of Thrones. It's like okay, it's been
First 3 seasons are basically porn.
It's been 45 minutes since we've seen someone naked, so we need to go ahead and.
Which
get
you
that
know
done.
surprises me about that kind of stuff is you don't see a lot of full frontal men, because that became like a big deal. What was it, like 5 years ago? As you start seeing more full
Yeah,
frontal
it's
men.
because
in
nobody
movies.
wants that. Nobody wants
But
that.
if you're
Girls
Game of
don't
Thrones,
want that. Guys
if you're
don't
Game
want
of
that.
Thrones, they don't care. They should
Although a little
just throw
Khal
it all in
Drogo,
there.
little Khal Drogo, maybe, huh?
Yeah,
What
so
do
they
you-
wouldn't care. They'd be like, oh man,
I don't know. The boys and the girls might like a little Khal Drogo.
yeah.
All right, well, this is the
And
ticket stub.
Thanos, right? Same crowd. Everyone wants to
Full
know.
frontal Thanos.
Everyone wants to know.
Hey, no Infinity Glove. No, never mind.
No.
I'm not gonna finish
You
that.
sure
one.
that
Okay.
snapped?
Yeah. Snap back.
He
man.
did some pre-snapping before he did the final snap.
Prepping. All right, well, this is the ticket stub. We normally talk about movies, not
that's
HBO,
great.
although it's
That's great.
It's relevant and innovative. So, show rundown. We're gonna do some movie news here in just a minute, and then we're gonna rewind. We're gonna talk about the movies that we've seen since we've been with you, and then we're gonna do a little this month in history because May is kind of the kickoff to the summer in a lot of ways.
April. I think April was really the
The
start
kickoff?
of the race.
Yeah, okay.
That's the start.
So the flags are waving.
First
in April.
lap happens in April, and then they continue the whole thing.
Yeah, and then May really gets going. So we're going to look at the last 5 years of the month of May in film, top 3 movies for each, and then we're going to compare it to this year and see, do we think it's a good year, bad year? Are we off to a good start?
I'm actually really worried about the movies coming out this summer.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about it in one of our articles.
And I think it might have been a there's going to be a power vacuum now since Endgame's out.
Yeah.
And it's going to die out in the next 2 years.
And so then what's next, right? Yeah, what's going to fill it? So Esquire.com, that leads us to our first article. Good segue, Dick. Man, look at that. Hey, we're professional up here. Esquire.com, most anticipated summer movies of 2019. And so you're saying this list doesn't look good. Let me run through it some. Godzilla, Rocketman, Dark Phoenix, which is X-Men. There's Men in Black. I didn't even know that was coming back. Child's Play, Toy Story 4, Yesterday, Spider-Man, another one, whatever, Spider-Man, Are We Still Doing This? I think is the tagline. The Lion King. There's a Quentin Tarantino movie. I didn't even know that was coming out. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Fast and Furious, Hobbs and Shaw, obviously Oscar worthy. Some New Mutants, Midsommar, or whatever that is. And then that's pretty much it. Okay, so Dick, do you have 2 or 3 of these that stand out to you as far as summer movies in 2019?
Yeah, I think there's a couple that I've been excited about, and there's a couple that I think are going to be dark horses in a sense. Like no one really expects. I think the New Mutant, if you watch the trailer and you get the tone of the movie, at first you're like, this is part of the X-Men world, but then it seems more of one of those horror movies. So I think that movie's going to be a surprise for folks.
Yeah, they call it X-Men adjacent. So it's in the same world as X-Men, right? But they're not the X-Men.
Yeah.
They're like the X-Children maybe.
And
Darker,
then,
scarier, Marvel film as its young mutants break free of a sinister secret facility.
And the movie Yesterday, I think it's going to be similar to Bohemian Rhapsody. It's going to include all the favorite songs of people, and they're going to go see it, and they're going to forget that
Almost like a live
what the
concert.
plot is, but they go, oh, man, I like the song. Oh, I like the song. Same thing with Rocketman.
Yeah. It's like they found a formula here. It's like, okay, if there's a very beloved musical star, let's just play all of their songs. People love their songs, and then they'll love the movie. The plot doesn't really matter.
Well, because one thing I hate about these kind of biopic movies, they never go into the real bad stuff that these people have done.
Like Bohemian Rhapsody, he got there's a lot of stuff he could have talked about in that movie, right? And they didn't do a lot of it, as far as I understand.
No, I think it's more people like to protect their brand, and you can tell on certain movies, like for example, like Marvel, they like to do what they know is going to be successful. Yeah. They don't want to tarnish the brand by risking things, which isn't. We're not asking Marvel to risk it. We're not asking these rockets. It's not for like me as the audience member. I don't really care. For
like Elton John murdered that one guy, and they're not even going to put that. No, I'm just kidding. He didn't. But he probably did, though. Who knows? I like Taron Egerton or whatever his name. And so he's good. I think he might be good as Elton John. Yesterday, I'll say, looks like a spin that I just think is kind of cool. It's not just a biopic. That's the movie where if you don't know,
still you're gonna have all the favorite. It's kind of like Across the Universe.
Oh, for sure.
That was a neat thing, similar like where you think Yesterday is going to be. It's a neat look on. Let's tell a story with songs. But in the end, does it change the way we look at film?
It's not. I don't think it's trying to change the way we look at film. I don't think
they're trying to do the Beatles. Beatles change the way we look at music.
I don't think.
If you're gonna make a music with Beatles music, you better make it.
What I like about this movie is the power goes out in the whole world. If you watch the trailer, when he wakes up, no one's ever heard of the Beatles. Somehow, apparently, he just knows every single Beatles song, I guess, and so then he just writes them as his own.
I guarantee you, this is a real life thing. No one will care. No one care.
Yeah, well, that was the one thing I was thinking.
They're not Cardi B. Yeah, it's not Cardi B.
It's 2019. Do we really want to hear Paperback Writer? If we people love that song because it's a classic now. But if it came out today and no one had ever heard of it, they'd be like, okay, whatever.
No.
Yeah.
No one would care.
But it's kind of an interesting take, and I'm sure at some point he'll get, he'll have this existential crisis, is this wrong? Should I not be doing this? Is this against?
He doesn't care. It's all about money.
Yeah, but it's directed by Danny Boyle, who usually does good. He kind of does a lot of the, he does good stuff. He did Slumdog Millionaire. He does 127 Hours, 28 Days Later. A bunch of things like that. Danny Boyle, he's legit. So there's a real director behind this. So I don't know. I'm excited about Yesterday. I think it could be good.
It seems like up your alley.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
What is my alley?
It has music.
Music is my.
You like that? You like?
I never even saw Bohemian.
You like those musicals?
I do like musicals.
So there you go.
I never saw Bohemian because that looked, I don't know, it just looked stupid to me. But Hobbs and Shaw, obviously, I'm excited
So
about
you
that.
want to know a funny trivia question?
Please.
What's
Be
Hobbs?
funny for a change.
What's Hobbs and Shaw called in Japan?
I don't know.
Super combo.
Remember that time? We need to bring that game back.
Yeah.
Remember that time we did like the
super combo?
Remember that time we did the game where it was like guess the actual movie by the translation from another country? Do you remember that? That was a long time ago we did that. And it was stuff like that where it'd be like super combo.
Have you seen the new trailer for that for Hobbs and Shaw?
No.
Where it shows Hobbs' family.
Are they all bald?
No, they're all like islanders.
Oh,
and
wait,
they don't have
Hobbs
any,
is the Rock, sorry.
Yeah, so yeah, they're all islanders and they don't have any weapons, so they use islander weapons. Like I was like, where's
Is
this
it
movie?
serious or is it
Oh,
a joke?
you need to see the new trailer.
Okay. Well, and then Quentin Tarantino's movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's got Brad Pitt. Listen to this cast. Brad Pitt, Leo DiCaprio, Margot Robbie, Al Pacino, Damian Lewis, Bruce Dern, Luke Perry, Dakota Fanning, Timothy Olyphant, James Marsden, and others. So this is the murder of Sharon Tate by Charles Manson followers. The plot doesn't do a ton for me. I don't really care about that. But the fact that it has all of those people and Quentin Tarantino at the helm.
I think the artsy people are gonna enjoy it.
Oh, I'm very artsy, so I'm gonna enjoy it. Lion King seems good. See, you said you don't think this is gonna be a good summer. I think this looks stronger than the last several years.
No, I mean, I don't think there's. I think the only guaranteed one is Spider-Man. I think that's the only one because Toy Story 4 might be a really good one for the kids. That's probably the best one for the summer for kids.
I think Lion King's gonna. I'm excited about Lion King. I think they're gonna do a good job with that. I think
Really?
Hobbs and Shaw is gonna do $1 billion probably.
Well, they're all going to do well in the theater. I'm talking about are they going to be good movies?
Oh, I don't know. Did you watch the previews for Midsummer?
Yeah.
Did you watch, dude? Creepy AF, if you will, right? Like this girl goes to Sweden or something, and they're doing like this weird ritual that happens every 90 years, and the whole trailer is like this line of people that she's walking down the middle, and they're all wearing like little Swiss dresses.
Yeah,
or
and
something.
like there's a tagline, "Why so white?"
Midsummer So White. If this one gets nominated for an Oscar, they're just gonna burn
Why
down.
So White?
They're just gonna burn down the theater that they do the
Oh,
Oscars
man.
in. It looks creepy and interesting. I don't know, man. It just seems like there's a lot of good options this summer. It's not all just Marvel movies, which I appreciate because I'm over it. I mean, there is the one Spider-Man, Men in Black. I always like those. This one, but you know, it's got Chris Hemsworth and it's got what's that other girl's name who's kind of popular now from
No,
Creed.
you know this is a connection world of Thor.
No, it's not.
Yeah, they're both. This is an alternative universe. You didn't know that?
It's Thor, and then he becomes Men in
Well,
Black.
that she's also in Thor.
Oh, that's right. She's
Yeah,
like the
so
little
this is
archangel
gonna be-
girl or
yeah.
whatever. Dude, I bet they're like, are they married? I bet they're hooking up, these two.
No, I bet they're both going. We don't want to be typecasted in the Thor movies, so we have to do other movies as much as possible.
We have to do Men in Black.
And that's why he has an accent in this movie because he's like, I gotta really not be typecasted.
Well, it's because it's Men in Black International, and
Yeah.
I think she's foreign too. Maybe not. I don't know. And but then
we're all foreign.
that's deep.
deep.
Yeah, that's really deep.
You know what? One movie I do want to talk about is Good Boys.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw the trailer for this. Or
I did
no.
not watch
It's
the
a Seth
trailer for
Rogen produced movie. One thing that kind of bothers me about this kind of stuff is this is basically super bad.
Oh, but like PG-13.
but for sixth graders.
Okay, I've read about this a little bit.
So I'm like, I don't really understand how far are we going to go with this kind of humor? I'm in sixth grade. What are you in sixth grade? Like 12?
Yeah. 11.
12. So they're like, you should watch it. I'm like, I was watching. I was like, man, that's kind of weird that people want to find this funny because it's just a bunch of kids cursing at 11. Because I know at 11, some kids were cursing and some of them were doing drugs. But was it funny then?
No, it's sad.
So
It's got the kid from Room. Oh, that's who it is. Jacob Tremblay.
yeah.
Wait, hold on. Is this after he escapes the room?
yeah, this is when he gets back into society and
He's only lived with his mom in the room
yeah.
and is like caretaker this whole time. And now he's escaped, and so of course he's gonna get up to shenanigans.
I don't know that movie. Like, it's weird that
Will Forte.
It's weird that Seth Rogen has that certain humor that he's kind of capitalized on. He's capitalized on
That's my Seth
the
Rogen
stonerific, stoner kind of humor.
Yeah.
And
Stoner boys.
And his movies, I find a lot of his movies kind of funny. They have some really unique humor to
It's
it.
a good take, Dick. A lot of his movies are kind of funny.
Well, I mean, a lot of people do not like their movies. Like, think about the last 10 years of Seth Rogen movies.
Oh, there's been some quality. The Candidate one or whatever. What was that one called? Not The Candidate.
The Interview?
The Interview. Yeah.
I enjoyed that movie.
Oh man, I watched. Okay, let me tell you my interview story. It was like banned or whatever, and you couldn't get it, and so I bought it on some like random YouTube account or something, because they wouldn't release it because they were afraid North Korea was going to bomb us when it first came out. And so I bought it off some like sketchy YouTube channel, and it was like $19. I bought it so me and my friends could watch it. Of course, like a month later, it's streaming.
Sketchy YouTube channel.
Yeah, it was just like,
You can purchase things on YouTube?
yeah, for sure.
It's not YouTube selling it?
this was not. I don't think this was, or whatever happened. It disappeared. It got flagged and taken away. So I paid like $19. It disappeared, and then a month later, it was on Netflix for free with your Netflix membership. So that kind of pissed me off. But it was worth, timing. It was worth it to get to watch it and be a part. We were worried the whole time that Kim Jong-un was like tapping our phones or something, to kill us. But totally worth it. Okay, so the summer 2019. You say you're not excited. I say I am excited.
Okay.
I love it when you add so much to the show here.
Well, I already said I think they're gonna make a lot of money. It's just these movies don't make me want to go to the theater.
Okay.
So I think Chris is excited. If I had to speak for Chris
I'm
over
sure
at Grand
Chris is
Theater,
excited.
because they have those reclining chairs. It's perfect for summer, and I think that's what's gonna work. A lot of these movies people are gonna go see. I just don't want to see any of them. I'm not the only. I think out of all the movies that I'm looking
You'll
at,
be reviewing them all like in a year.
I'm doing
18
Hobbs
months.
and Shaw, and I'm going to do some Spider-Man. Those are the only movies that I'm looking forward to. That
You don't care about Child's Play? Chris
I'm
will
not-
like. Chris will like
That's a
Child's
Chris
Play.
movie.
Yeah, that's a Chris
so,
movie.
and then I might see Once Upon a Time.
Yeah,
I might.
I think it looks cool. All right, next article, Vulture.com. You sent me this like longest article ever that I read some of, but not all of, about Angelica Houston on growing up in Hollywood, the cost of beating Oprah at the Oscars, and why Jack Nicholson doesn't act anymore. Tell me what about this article caught your love, man.
Well, it's an interview, which I really enjoyed, and
Yeah.
I posted it on our Facebook and stuff like that for people to check out because it gives you an insight of a history of Hollywood.
Yeah.
Because she's been around. Angelica Houston's been around. Her dad was a famous actor.
I guess I didn't realize how connected she was to
She
everything.
was. It's really neat. It's a neat read. I think it's if you're really into the history of filmmaking and the way that world works. This is a really neat article to read. Again, I posted it in our description. It'll be posted in the description on YouTube and all that kind of stuff. But they go into really good detail about Jack Nicholson and about
About his cocaine.
really, they really go into it. It's really,
Upstairs and
Well, one thing
downstairs. Learn some new slang.
What I like is it's kind of like learning from one of the people who were there. Because some people could be like, "Yo, I wrote a biography of Jack Nicholson. He did cocaine all the time." But the way she wrote it, because she was there, it's kind of funny. She's in a short term, and you can read the article. She basically says it's like his espresso. So like he goes, she's like, I never felt that he was overdoing it, but he would
little bump, man. Just a little bump.
He just did it. It's like you drink coffee, he does a little bump, and that's not exactly what she said, but it's just kind of like
Little
okay.
coat.
And then she talks about Roman Polanski, and that's kind of a hot topic. She talks about Me Too a little bit, and that's a pretty hot topic. But it's
Yeah.
neat to hear from a person who seems so Hollywood royalty.
She said she got Me Too'd on a daily basis, practically.
Yeah.
That's surprising. Well, maybe not. I don't know. That's sad. Angelica Houston, I've only known her like as kind of an older lady since I've been around.
She was
kind of a shorty though.
I mean, like before 2000, actually before Royal Tenenbaums, she was in like very serious roles.
Okay.
And then now she's kind of like Addams Family, Royal Tenenbaums. That's what people remember her from. But if you're like a really big movie buff person, she's been a lot of earlier, the 70s and 80s. That's where the years she really did the serious acting.
Was she in 101 Dalmatians? Was that Angelica Houston?
No, that was Glenn Close.
Oh, that's right. Okay. They're kind of the same. Yeah, they're
Kinda.
All the
Old white women.
All old white women are the same, right? Anyways, check it out. It's a cool article.
I would, yeah, really.
Angelica Houston. Again, her life was more interesting than I would have guessed.
Oh yeah, her dad was an alcoholic, and he's
Yeah.
a huge actor back in the day, back in early Hollywood.
Yeah.
And then, but I just like those kind of articles that people seem like they're telling the truth. She did not hold anything back. She didn't care. It wasn't deflective answers. It was just kind of like, yeah. I almost want to know who the interviewer was because she asked such personal questions.
It was me.
I was like, how does she know this stuff?
Yeah, they must have done some pre-interview kind of stuff or whatever. It was me. I'm a really good interviewer, as you all know who listen to the show regularly.
And I appreciate you including that article. Probably you didn't read it, but I appreciate it.
I said I read some of it, and I did read some of it.
So-
But yeah, when you send me stuff, like 9 out of 10 times I'll put it in there unless I forget. But Angelica Houston, the other thing is crazy to think about. Hollywood's not that old. You just think about it. It's been around our whole lives, but it's like really Hollywood's been around since like the 20s, and really ramped up like in the 50s probably. And so to say that, like if her dad was like early Hollywood, it's just crazy to think like people that are alive right now have seen it come.
Well, what I laugh about is the influence of film. And if you remember, I would say people who are like 40 to 60 years old right now, they were heavily influenced by the Steve McQueens and the Marlon Brandos of cool. I'm talking about men, like guys. And so I'm thinking,
that's what you say. Yeah.
who's going to influence like the younger generation? I'm like, is it really going to be The Rock? Is The Rock going to be the person who makes you want to buy this thing?
We can only hope.
Or you want to imitate The Rock from the movie Doom? I mean,
The Rock
I'm
has
just
a
kidding, I'm
forgotten
giving him a hard
catalog.
time.
The
Well,
Rock,
I mean,
the
think
Rock
about
has
it,
the
like,
forgotten catalog that no one
Because it
cares
doesn't
about.
resonate with us. Because like to me, what for you? What when you were younger, what do you think of?
For what, like film?
What inspires you to do things? For example, like Steve McQueen. I don't know how many people he made buy Mustang
Oh yeah.
from that movie. So like people.
Mel Gibson made me want freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that what you?
yeah, I fight for freedom because of Mel.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. Maybe certain like fashion or something like that was driven by certain movies and things. I know Quaaludes seem really cool after Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah, but I don't think they make those anymore. I think Quaaludes are done.
Cocaine.
Ludes. Yeah, yeah, definitely that. All right, last but not least, saw an article, Riverfront Times, of course, very popular. St. Andrews Cinema. This is the heart of suburbia in Middle America. There is a $1 movie theater that is staying alive. They have kept it going. It runs the second run movies, like it was saying that it's recently released Bumblebee, so it's the movies that no one cares about anymore. Dick, this would be perfect for you because I feel like this is kind of like your wheel, like a year after.
No, there used to be, I might still be there on 1960 and Student Airline.
Okay.
There was a dollar theater there.
Yeah.
And I had some really good memories there because they had a cheap arcade. So it was a hangout spot for a little bit.
The article said that this
then
place,
it got real, like no one cleaned it.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That was
the problem
like-
is you can't keep it nice for $1 a movie. And it said it has very affordable concessions, and it's run by like this super hipster dude who's probably our age, who has like an afro and wears old school clothing. And I think for him, it's like,
unfortunately for this
we're just
guy,
gonna keep
though,
this baby
when
alive.
I was reading this, I was like, man, I really wish the guy who owned this ran a outdoor theater,
that'd be
like
cool.
a drive-in theater.
Yeah.
Because to me, those are the kind of cool things that keep this dollar price available. Because one thing I liked about a lot of drive-in theaters is you pay one ticket, but you get to watch 2 movies if you want.
Yeah.
You don't have to, but if you want. And I really like that because I was like, oh, cool, we got enough food, we got enough snacks, enough beer, or whatever, and we can just hang out.
So what do you think what's the value of alternative formats? Like nowadays, the main theaters, the Grand, the Cinemarks, the Tinseltowns, everything like that, they're going to comfy seat, recliner, expensive concession, expensive ticket, 3D, high def, all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
that Grand Theater.
Ooh, yeah, baby.
No, I'm just kidding.
No. Well, what's the value of like a cheap, quality's probably not as good, the projectors aren't as good, things like that. Is there a place for this in the future?
Well, I think there's a place for people to enjoy the movie experience that don't have to spend the $22 for an IMAX ticket. And for movies to stay out longer, a lot of people, I think that's where movies like Endgame bank on is the first 4 weeks of the movie.
It's like all about opening weekend.
And then that's it.
Yeah.
And I think theaters like this really cater to the folks who don't normally go, hey, we gotta be there at midnight for the screening. It's more of like, hey, you want to go see a movie? Yeah. Like, oh, that movie's gone. Let's check the dollar cinema, see if it's there. But today, though, I think what's going to ruin these is already happening. Is movies are going to come out on demand and whatnot very, very fast. And now you're sitting there going like, if we're going to spend $10 together when we go to the cinema, why don't we just watch it on my 92 screen? Crazy, whatever.
See, but what I wonder is if people are getting tired of kind of the isolation of streaming, because what we're seeing is the more that technology is making all this stuff in our, every song you could ever want is on your iPhone now for $9.99 a month and everything like that. But the experiences of the concert, the experiences of the music fest, the experiences of going to the theater, it's like that is the value now where the money, it's like in the music industry, it used to all be about your CD sales, your record sales. Now it's all about your concert sales. And that's kind of how it's going for everything. It's like almost give the album away for free, and then the people want the concert because they need that.
That's probably why concerts are so cheap. Now they're so expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
Make that up.
Exactly. But I wonder if there's something like that that's going to happen in the film world where because everything's available streaming, it's like, oh yeah, I can watch it by myself.
The only
but
way
that
this
kinda
stuff's
sucks.
gonna be successful if he owns the building.
Yeah.
That's the only way because if he has to pay rent.
I'm not talking about his business model so much as just the idea of like, is there going to be a revolution in movies where, yeah, it's all accessible in my fingertips, but I'd rather watch it with other people. I'd rather go
That's
somewhere.
why
and
the
pay.
Grand has the matinee price, and that's why the Grand has the Fathom events, and they have those the classic Wednesday Sundays.
Yeah, movies that are available
And-
online probably.
Right, movies haven't been available for 60 years.
Yeah.
They played in the theater, and I think if you create that kind of a community, then you're going to have a following.
Yeah, I just think that's going to increase probably is my guess. Even as access increases, I think the desire to get with people that love this, like it mentions in that article, the Rocky Horror Picture stuff, that's been happening all over the country forever. It's this like weird community of people that all love the same thing. Yeah, you could watch it by yourself, but that's not nearly as fun as gathering up with other people that like the same thing as you and doing it together. All right, we got to go to break. When we come back, we're going to rewind the movies that we've seen over the last week, and then we're going to look at this month in history, the month of May from 2014 to present. What were good years, what were bad years, and how does 2019 stack up against the others? So please stick with us here on the Ticket Stub.
Listen in Mondays at noon to hear Conroe news from local nonprofits, businesses, upcoming events, Conroe Park events, news stories, and information that matters to you with your host, Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR. For more information about being a guest, visit irlonestar.com/Conroe Culture.
The Ticket Stub is sponsored by the Grand Theater and Amstar Cinemas.
With 18 locations around the country, the Grand Theater and Amstar Cinemas bring you the latest in state-of-the-art projection and sound,
including Fathom events and Flashback Cinema.
Did you know your local Grand or Amstar Cinema serves a wide variety of adult beverages?
and some even have a full bar.
And moms, they didn't forget about you. They also have a large selection of wine to help you get through those kids' movies.
Visit your local Grand or Amstar Cinema today.
From the beginning, the main purpose of the Cooperative Extension Service has been to change human behavior by teaching people how to apply the results of scientific research. By utilizing a holistic, multi-level approach, Extension family and community health programs encourage health and well-being for everyone. Addressing values, concerns, and needs with reliable science-based information, Extension programs help people lead healthier lives. We are Texas A&M AgriLife Extension, helping Texans make their lives better.
Don't forget to download the Lone Star Community Radio app from your Google Play or Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM. That's Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. If you are on the computer, bookmark irlonestar.com as your internet radio station. A Lone Star Community Radio. Broadcasting 24/7 from the heart of downtown Conroe, Texas.
Lone Star Community Radio is ready for the summer. If you or anyone you know is looking for a summer internship, Lone Star Community Radio is a great place to learn the radio and TV business. Contact the station at info@irlonestar.com or call the station's message line at 936-647-3776. Lone Star Community Radio offers a great opportunity to those interested in learning about the radio world.
Path to the Plate is a research-based education program that helps consumers understand how their food choices impact their health by making the connection to agriculture. Learning about how food is grown and produced, and how consumers can make better food choices for themselves and their families, Path to the Plate is all about dispelling myths and misconceptions. Find out more online at pathtotheplate.tamu.edu. We are Texas A&M AgriLife Extension, helping Texans make their lives better.
The Ticket Stub is sponsored by the Grand Theater and Amstar Cinemas.
With 18 locations around the country, the Grand Theater and Amstar Cinemas bring you the latest in state-of-the-art projection and sound,
including Fathom events and Flashback Cinema.
Did you know your local Grand or Amstar Cinema serves a wide variety of adult beverages?
and some even have a full bar.
And moms, they didn't forget about you. They also have a large selection of wine to help you get through those kids' movies.
Visit your local Grand or Amstar Cinema today.
We're back on the Ticket Stub. If you missed this last segment, if you're listening on the radio, we talked movie news, talked about the summer 2019, talked a little bit about Angelica Houston, not a Glenn Close. Why would I even say that? Angelica Houston article, and then also about the $1 theater that's still alive in Middle America. And is there a change in people wanting experience over just access? So anyways, we're going to do the rewinds now. Dick and Connor in studio today. Chris busy making that money in the Grand Theater. So we miss you, Chris. We love you. The rewinds for this week. Dick, you're talking about the movie Venom.
Heck yeah, dude.
Heck yeah, bro.
Heck
and
yeah.
I'm talking about the movie Instant Family. Dick, why don't you go first? Tell us what's up.
All right. I watched the 2008.
No, it's not. 2018.
2018. I apologize. For Venom, a movie that was highly advertised as the world has enough superheroes. So let's make another movie with a superhero.
Yeah, beautiful Tom Hardy.
Yeah, and we have the trailer playing on the video, and it is directed by Ruben Fleischer, who has...
Ruben.
Ruben is relatively a younger director. His top movies, I would say, directing besides Venom were 30 minutes or less. Zombieland, like they're not.
Yeah. Okay.
They have action in it, and
Was 30 minutes or less about the pizza guy whose head was going to blow up or something? If
no, 30 minutes or less. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, they put like an explosive collar. That's a true story. Do you know that?
Oh shoot, no. I
Yeah,
did not.
it's kind of dark.
And-
Anyways.
But yeah, and he produced some movies too.
The thing just bit him in the crotch. The Venom.
Have you not seen
No,
Venom?
I didn't see Venom. No.
All right, so actually you can stream Venom now if you have I believe it's either Stars or Cinemax.
Okay.
Either one of those, you can watch it right there. That's how I watched it. I don't really remember what streaming service it was. But the movie itself, it's not part of the Marvel universe that you think of, which is kind of disappointing because they could have done a lot more if they had that access.
Like to Spider-Man or something?
To Spider-Man, to anybody. To
Because
really
Spider-Man's not
anything.
in this, right?
No, they only made a few comments about where Eddie Brock was prior to this because, New York City is where Spider-Man kind of is.
Yeah.
And now they made comments where now he's on the West Coast, and he's like, oh, yeah, and his girlfriend at the time in the movie, Michelle Williams, is like, let's not remind us of what happened over there in New York or wherever the town was because he messed up. Eddie messed up.
Was he in any of those movies?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like
okay.
that was the only thing they tried to like go, hey, this is another universe. Like we're over here.
Yeah, we're in San Francisco, so we don't know what happened in New York.
Yeah, and overall, the movie was probably if I had to do like a letter grade, I would say a C+, B-.
Okay.
Tom Hardy. I mean, I just don't know. I don't really know if it was the direction that was poor because he didn't seem that interesting to me, and he had that Bane kind of reaction to stuff, and he was trying to be manic and things like that, but you ever seen Tom Hardy manic? It doesn't really make sense, and he goes insane during the whole movie because Venom takes over half of his head, so you hear the voice, and you were trying to figure out where they're going with the movie, and the bad guys, it wasn't a really cool bad guy, and overall it just wasn't that interesting a movie.
Yeah, it's amazing how much the bad guy matters for a movie
Yeah.
like this. So there's like the good, nice guy who's trying not to do bad stuff, but then Venom like makes him do it.
Well,
Kinda like a Incredible
Venom's
Hulk
one of
type
those guys. Venom is a dog eat dog. Like whoever, I'd rather not be dead.
Yeah, so I'll do
and
anything.
so I'm gonna do anything. It's like there's a whole joke running in the show where he's like, Venom, don't eat people, don't eat bad people or good people. You can eat bad people. And I'm like, well, what? I thought you just don't want to eat anyone. You know?
Why eat? Does he eat? Is
Well,
that his
yeah, he
whole
has
thing?
to eat.
Oh, he has to.
And
eat.
so I was just like, it's a bizarre, it's a bizarre movie because you're like,
So
man,
Tom Hardy's body is digesting humans.
they don't explain that. I mean, they don't. And there's some weird.
Think about his poops. Like when he's not Venom anymore.
That's what I'm saying. It didn't really. A lot of it didn't make a lot of sense, and I was just like, all right, I'm just going with it. Whatever.
Yeah.
The action scenes weren't really that good. A lot of it reminded me of the Black Panther action scenes where
How dare you?
could
How dare you talk
see-
bad about the Black Panther?
Well, you could see like half the
That's
budget
racist.
went into the big battles, and the other battles that like the one-on-ones are like, no, we're not going to spend that much money on.
Yeah.
It just didn't seem finished. And
Okay.
a lot of their stuff, the whole movie, would I recommend a comic book person seeing it? Yeah, just so you know there's a bottom. So,
Okay, so here's the floor.
yeah, and I will be surprised what they do with this character because I enjoyed the character Venom, especially when he's going up against Spider-Man,
Mm-hmm.
and plus that introduces a whole nother world of like Carnage might be in it, and then the black suit Spider-Man might be introduced, which the older Spider-Man's tried to do.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised they haven't. They didn't. They were like the Marvel people said no to Venom because now they're in space.
Mm-hmm.
The Marvel universe is in space now.
Yeah.
So that's where Venom comes from. That's where the symbiote comes from. It's like, oh, perfect introduction to the new Spider-Man world is this thing from space.
But no.
But now they made this. I don't know if Sony, because this is a Sony-made movie.
Oh, it was. They sold it to Sony?
Well, no, Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man. They're the ones that lend it out to
Oh, that's
Marvel.
right. Yeah,
or lend
yeah,
it
yeah.
out to
Universal?
Universal, yeah.
Mhm.
Whoever produces those movies. Disney.
Is it Disney?
Yeah,
Okay.
Disney
Well,
definitely owns that stuff.
That's right, yeah.
They own everything.
Cool. All right, so Venom, solid C+.
Solid C+.
All right, well, cool. I watched on an airplane flying back from French wine country, no big deal, a movie called Instant Family. Did you ever see Instant Family, Dick?
Did this movie relate to you?
Yeah. So I didn't watch it for that purpose, but I did get. I watched it on the trip back from my honeymoon where I married Lindsay, who has been on the show before, and she has 2 kids, and so in some ways that's kind of an instant family. But this is Mark Wahlberg and Rose Byrne. And so first off, it's 2018. It's PG-13. It's just under 2 hours. Written and directed by Sean Anders, who did Horrible Bosses and Daddy's Home. So this is kind of his wheelhouse, like these a little bit irreverent comedies. He has had Mark Wahlberg in, I think, 2 of the movies before this one. So he definitely has a love for Marky Mark. It's starring Mark Wahlberg, Rose Byrne. IMDb says a couple finds themselves in over their heads when they foster 3 children. Basically, these are like the Chip and Joanna Gaines is like what Mark and Rose Byrne are. They're home renovators. And for some reason, they get this instinct that they need to try to maybe adopt a kid. And so so this is based on a true story, first of all. I guess this really happened. Or, they go to the little fair, like the little child fair. It's kind of a weird thing. Like you go and try to pick your kid. And then they realize like the teens are the overlooked ones. They find this sassy teen who you just are seeing on screen if you're watching right now. And it ends up that it's her and her 2 siblings. And so they'd have to adopt all 3 of them at once. So they'd go from just the 2 of them to all of a sudden a family of 5. What I liked about this movie is, first off, it really was funny. Like I'd heard that it was funny and I didn't believe it, but it really had me laughing several times. First off, I was at 30,000 feet where the air is a little thinner. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it. But it had some legitimately funny moments. And then it also had some really kind of heartfelt, sweet moments as you talk about children not feeling loved by their birth parents. What's it like to adopt, the difficulty. A lot of the little cut scenes go to the support group. You're seeing that right now, the support group of all the families that are in adoption. The one part I probably could have maybe done without, it had Tig Notaro, who's a comedian, and then, what's the girl from The Help and stuff? She the 2 of them are the adoption agency people, and I think they tried to be real funny. That was probably one of the biggest misses for me, was the 2 of them together. But anyways, this is a really, really good movie. I was surprised. I really liked it a lot. I would recommend it pretty highly to anybody. It's funny. Like I said, it's got a little bit of heart, a little something for the guy, a little something for the girl. Probably a good couples movie. If you and Holly are ever wanting something lighthearted that you both might get something out of.
Oh, because you really want to leave a movie. Hey, let's have a family.
Yeah.
Thanks, Connor.
Yeah. If you want to make Holly desperate for children immediately, maybe you should stay away from this one for a couple years if y'all are not wanting to do that. But anyways, it's pretty good. Even watching the little trailer right now, seeing what they're doing. I love Mark Wahlberg. I know I might be in the minority here, but I love Mark Wahlberg. He's hilarious. And
someone has to.
Someone has. Hey, there's someone for everyone.
When's he going to be in the Fast and the Furious?
He would be a great addition.
I know,
he would be a great addition to that.
Oh man,
Hobbs and Shaw and Mark.
Well, the next thing they're going to do is they're going to do Transformers and Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, I will say that Transformers movie was not good. As much as I like Mark, that was I love Mark Wahlberg when he's in this movie. He's doing the same as in the other guys. When he's the ridiculous kind of comic, relief type
guy.
Him in
that Fear kind of movie.
Oh yeah, Wild Horses, man.
Yeah.
That's when they're on the roller coaster. Is it White Horses or Wild Horses?
I don't know.
Octavia Spencer, that's the girl's name. All right, anyways. So Instant Family, I would give this a solid B plus A minus in my opinion, as far as just good, fun, gives you what you want, comedy. So that's our rewinds. Anyways, do you know what you're gonna watch next week yet? I haven't picked. Avengers is what I'd like to bring to the show next week. Okay, hey, Pinky Promise.
Pinky Promise.
All right,
let's go see it together.
Yeah. We'll both check out Avengers and try to bring that into the show next week, because we need to be more relevant sometimes about some of that kind of stuff.
Well, if you don't review it, you're just not doing it right. This movie podcast. If you don't review Endgame, I mean, come on.
That's true. We're failing. We probably should have done it this week, but neither of us saw it. So whatever. All right, well, let's do this month in history. So for this segment, we're going to talk about the month of May since 2014 on, the last 5 years, and then we're going to talk about 2019, compare how it stands up. I'm just going to read these off. Dick, I want to get your opinion about what of these years sounds like the best one in your opinion. Now, these are the top 3 grossing movies from each year of May. So maybe not necessarily the highest reviewed, but the top 3 as far as box office goes. So 2014, the 3 movies were Maleficent, X-Men Days of Future Past, and Amazing Spider-Man 2. Now, that's the British dude, right? That's Garfield, Amazing Spider-Man 2, and Emma what? Stone. Yes. All right, 2015.
Yes. You're the one reading this. I'm not. I'm just listening.
But you're the Spider-Man guy. 2015, Avengers Age of Ultron. Doesn't that feel like a forever ago with Ultron? It feels like a long time ago. Avengers Age of Ultron, Pitch Perfect 2, and San Andreas. Strong. 2016, Captain America Civil War, X-Men Apocalypse, and Angry Birds. 2017, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Pirates Caribbean 5, Dead Men Tell No Lies 5. Can you believe that? And then Alien Covenant. 2018 is Deadpool 2, Solo, A Star Wars Story, and Book Club. That was the third highest grossing movie in May last year. Diane Keaton and Candice Bergen. I don't even know that movie. I can't even remember.
There's
that.
actually in that Angelica Hudson article. If you read
Houston.
towards,
You don't even know her name.
is it? No, it's Hudson.
No, Angelica Houston.
Oh, I guess I was
Right?
reading it wrong. You're probably wrong. You don't know anything. I don't know anything either. But no, what's interesting,
Neither of us know anything.
Read towards the end, she makes comments about older actors like Robert De Niro and
doing these dumb movies.
Well, it's just kind of, yeah. She's like, I'll never do that. She's like, why would I want to be in a Calendar Girls movie or something? Like when you said Book Club, that made me think of man, that one will never be in one of those movies.
No, it's pretty much.
But she'll be in John Wick 3.
Dude, John Wick 3 looks good. Let's talk about that. Well, anyways, all right. So, what do you think out of all those lists? So you're reading them right now. Which one stands out? You think above the others?
Man, that's kind of hard because each one has a what you would say is the weakest one, and real weak.
Yeah.
So
The drop off is big. It's like they each have a top two, and then it's kind of like on the Miami Heat when there was the big three with LeBron, D Wade, and Chris Bosh, and everyone's like, "Well, Chris Bosh doesn't deserve to be in that conversation." That's kind of how they say.
Yeah, I mean, there really is like probably the weakest one would probably be 2015, because I mean, Pitch Perfect 2 and San Andreas, like those aren't standard like sequel movie. I guess Pitch Perfect 2 is
literally a sequel.
It's literally
it's
a sequel.
actually for sure.
I bet more of like it's not like, oh, for this summer, the big movie.
Pitch Perfect 2.
And because Avengers, that's a pretty big movie.
That's huge. Yeah, Ultron, that was a huge movie.
So
and Pitch Perfect 2 was good, and San Andreas.
See, I told you like musicals.
Had a good soundtrack. San Andreas was good, but it did not do.
It had a good soundtrack because they sang other people's songs.
Yeah,
that's
acapella,
the only reason people like these movies. I'm telling you.
Yeah, good acapella. They had mashups. They had their own mixes. Okay.
I'm not saying it's bad that they do that. It's just kind of like you can make any movie just have Journey in the background and they're singing Journey, be fine.
Yeah, that's fair. See, 2016, like on this list, I feel like Captain America: Civil War might be one of my like the top one or two movie on the list. But X-Men Apocalypse was so bad.
I really am afraid for the X-Men franchise going down. It's been going downhill.
X-Men Apocalypse was so bad. That's the one that had.
What made it bad though to you?
Oscar Isaac made it bad.
Because I watched it recently and I was like, I feel like this movie isn't bad, but it's just I feel like I'm numb. Like I don't really care what happens.
Oscar Isaac as the bad guy, as Apocalypse, that was the worst thing I've seen in a long time.
Really?
I feel like it was so his acting. Like he's a good actor. I really like him, but in that role and what they did, it was so. I just remember feeling like this was terrible. Really, really, really bad.
Because Phoenix is going to be terrible,
dude. Sansa, man,
it's going to be terrible.
How dare you? I don't know anything about it. It might be terrible, but I love Sophie Turner, so I'm gonna go see that.
Well,
one for sure.
what they need to do, they figured it out, folks. Marvel knows how to make movies. Let them do every single one of them, because somehow, even though they're B pluses, like it's still enjoyable.
They're still good. Yeah.
Whoever's in charge of who's ever been in charge of X-Men for the past 20 years, like get out of here. We've already seen it. We've already done it. Let Marvel do it. They'll do the same thing, but they'll do it better.
Yeah. Well, the truth after making this list is that the month of May is it is the summer of movies, but they have not released all the good stuff yet in May. You know, like they're definitely holding their cards to their chest still. Like you said, there's like one or two big tent poles, and that's pretty much
Like
it.
Angry Birds.
Yeah, Angry Birds is the third greatest.
I saw that movie.
Was it good?
No.
Couldn't have been.
It didn't make any sense.
Well, it's because it's for children.
It's almost as bad as Emoji Movie.
Not quite.
I can't believe I still saw that movie.
I can't believe it either. They made a movie
all the way
about
to the credits.
They made a movie about an app. Imagine if there was like Clash of Clans movie or something like that, or like I don't even know what other game people play. You know, what's the stupid one? It's always trying to get you to play those games where you like line up your army and fight them whenever. Anyways, I think maybe 2018. Deadpool 2 was really, really good, really funny. Star Wars a Solo story, a Star Wars story, whatever. Really good. Book Club, didn't see it.
I think the guy who did Solo, the cinematographer, did Game of Thrones, I think.
Sapochnik?
Yeah, same guy. Same. Everything's dark.
Oh.
Can't really see anything.
When they do the Kessel Run and there's like that sea monster that's trying to eat the ship or whatever. Okay, so 2019. Here's I mean, obviously we don't know the top grossing movies for May yet because it's like day 2. But here's what's coming out. Pokemon Pikachu Detective, or no, hold on. Pokemon Detective Pikachu. Hey, how come? Wait, never mind. Yeah, how do you get Pikachu to get on the airplane?
You peek at him?
You Pokemon. All right, Pokemon.
I can't believe I.
Pokemon Detective Pikachu,
right.
John Wick 3,
Yeah.
Aladdin, Godzilla King of Monsters.
That's gonna be good.
And Rocketman. Those are the 3. I feel like this year has the chance to be better than all 5.
You said 5.
No, but I'm saying, but 3 of those will be the top 3.
Oh,
I don't know.
John Wick, Pikachu, and
Godzilla. Maybe Aladdin. Aladdin could do it.
Well, money-wise, yeah, it's probably going to be
Yeah,
there.
I'm
talking about good movies.
I'm talking about grossing. I mean, all these are the top
I don't
three.
care about money. I want good stuff. You think Aladdin's going to be good?
I think it might be a top. The list we've been reading were the top 3 grossing, so I want to keep in line with what we've been saying. So I think probably John Wick, Aladdin, and maybe Godzilla would be my guess for the 3. But I still think, I haven't seen any of them. Aladdin, cautiously optimistic for some reason. I've been only hating that movie for like the last year. But for some reason, as it gets closer, I'm starting to think like maybe it could be good.
Well, the thing that I'm worried about is the track record of Will Smith has been pretty poor recently.
I saw the trailer. He's got like an 8-pack. It's total like that's what maybe Will Smith has an 8-pack. I don't know, but I feel like if I was playing the genie, I'd be like, okay, use my head only, and then I need the body of Brad Pitt in Fight Club. Give me that body with just my face.
Well, see what reminds me of the situation with the genie reminds me of, I don't know if you've seen it yet, the Sonic trailer for Sonic the Hedgehog.
I have not, no.
So like Sonic looks so unnatural.
I heard his teeth are weird.
I know we're talking. I know we're talking about video games. I'm
Yeah.
talking about like just the way he looks. It just doesn't look right.
Does he have a bad tooth to gum ratio?
Yeah, like within like probably 3 days, people on the internet fixed it. Like, hey, I fixed Sonic. Here you go.
And it looked better.
And it looked 10 times better. Like the eyes were together. Like it looked like a character, like an animated character. It wasn't like I don't know what they were thinking.
I think they try to make it real, maybe or something.
I don't know. Like it didn't look real though. It looks creepy. Like it looks like something that you would see that they were like, hey, you got 2 minutes to draw. You're going to blindfold you, and
Pictionary or
this
Scrabble.
This is what we're doing, and that's what.
Yeah. Okay. Pictionary. Sonic the Hedgehog. Ready to go.
The genie's the same way. It's kind of like, I mean, I wonder if they decided when they chose Will Smith. It's kind of like because they kind of did the original genie based off of Robin Williams.
Yeah.
The look, but Robin Williams wasn't a fatty, so it was just more of like
PHAT.
But like, why go all the way with Will Smith? And I still don't, because we talked about this when they announced it. I was like,
don't make it look like Will Smith.
Just make it look like the genie from the movie. Like
Yeah.
that's the easiest art direction you could have done because you know it's successful.
I wonder if Will Smith's like, nah, dog. It's gonna look like me, but it's gonna have an 8-pack.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if they're like, yeah, we got Will Smith. We're paying him for his because there's probably some scenes he's normal in it.
Maybe.
And I bet that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
Well, you think 2019 has a chance to be better, in the middle, worse?
Yeah, better.
Yeah, I think so too. I think this is a pretty decent slate of movies when you look at what May is.
What was weird is like John Wick wasn't on your list for 2019 summer movies.
It wasn't on that article?
I don't think so. I didn't see it.
Huh.
So it's kind of strange.
Well, it wasn't. First off, it wasn't my list. It was Vulture.com's list. So don't please put, or Esquire.com. Please don't put that on me. Well, Vulture was your article. I don't know if it wasn't on there. That's weird because it's definitely like probably the biggest movie of the month.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Maybe they don't consider that summer, I guess. I don't know, because it starts with May 31st is when the article starts. Yeah, John Wick 3 is going to be so good. I need to rewatch the other John Wicks, especially John Wick 2. I feel like I watched that one, but I didn't give it the attention that John Wick 1 got, like in my mental space or whatever. So I need to check that out for sure. I got Deadwood. Man, I got so much to do. So little time. Game of Thrones is on. HBO's got a solid lineup. Veep, Barry. You watch Barry? You need to watch Barry, Dick. You like that show?
Yeah, I enjoy it.
Barry's good.
I like it.
Yeah, really good for sure. All right, well, that's our show. Thanks everybody for listening. Please remember to share and tell a friend about the Ticket Stub. We want to keep growing Stub Nation. We need more listeners. We need more people to engage the show. Remember, if you tweet at us, engage us on social media, you'll get entered in the chance to win 2 tickets to the Grand Theater and Amstar Cinema. Every week we give those tickets away. We do it personally on social media, so make sure you follow up with that. And Chris is hopefully going to be back next week. Next week is our 100th show. 100. So maybe we can have something cool. We'll try to figure something out between Dick and I about what we can do next week to make the show extra specially wonderful. What up? So anyways, for Dick and for Chris, who's not with us today, my name is Connor. We're signing off on the Ticket Stub.